Thank you all for coming. As you know, we've been looking into a missing person report that our office received Wednesday evening at approximately 10 o'clock. Malaya Johnson is a 12-year-old female, lives in the village of Hudson Falls. Since getting the report, investigators worked through the night. We were assisted by the Hudson Falls Police, the Hudson Falls School District, the FBI came in, New York City PD, Secret Service. So we had quite a bunch of people that worked on this case. Through the investigation, we were able to determine through witness accounts that Malaya was last seen getting into a red vehicle in the village of Hudson Falls, a Mustang. With that information, with the assistance of the state police, we were able to determine what that vehicle was and where it was. And once we got that information, we were assisted by the NYPD, who located 2 subjects that were in the vehicle, and they interviewed those subjects. As a result of that investigation and interview in New York City, we were able to determine that the operator of the vehicle was a George Torres, who's 19 years old, and he lives in Navy Pier Court in Staten Island, New York. Throughout the investigation, we're also able to learn that Mr. Torres drove to Hudson Falls, picked up Malaya, and brought her to Staten Island. In Staten Island was the last known location we have for Malaya. We're currently working with the NYPD and with the FBI, the New York field office. We're working closely with the NYPD to try to find Malaya. Unfortunately, the last information we have is that she was in the Staten Island area near the pier. We don't have any further information since 8:30 last night as to her whereabouts. Our main efforts right now, obviously, are finding Malaya, ensure her safety, and return her to her family. This morning, as some of you know that we're at the arraignment, Mr. Torres was charged with kidnapping in the 2nd degree. He's currently being held here without bail, and the investigation is going to continue until we find Malaya. Like I said, we've worked closely with the NYPD. We're getting updates with them. As far as the Amber Alert, we're going to keep the Amber Alert active until we have other information, so that will remain active throughout the day. We're in contact with Amber Alert, and like I said, we're gonna keep that going. Scott, did you want to say anything?
I'm all set.
Okay, we'll take any questions you have.
Sheriff, CBS 2 is reporting that the Amber Alert has been lifted and Malaya has been found. Has your agency been informed at all about that?
No, the Amber Alert is still active. We haven't requested that it be deactivated.
Does it have to go through you guys to say we're lifting it?
It doesn't have to, but we requested to keep it active, and as far as I know, right now it's active.
Did she get in this car willingly?
The witness reports that she did, yes.
How did she know George? Do you have any communication between the 2 of them?
It's our understanding that they met online.
Did she tell him she was 12, or did she?
We don't have that.
Do you believe she's in any danger right now?
Well, she's a 12-year-old girl in New York City. We don't know if she has any money. We don't know if she has any means to eat or where she is. So I would say she certainly is in significant danger.
The other person who was identified in the car, that red Mustang, are they being interviewed? Can you identify that person?
We're not going to identify the person. He cooperated with police. We don't know exactly the extent of his involvement at this point, but the investigation is continuing, so should things change, we'll address that.
I know when you identified the make of the car, you didn't have a plate. Can you elaborate on how the NYPD was able to track this vehicle down?
We don't want to talk about specifics of the technology that was used, but it was some great detective work and some great technology that's available to us that we're able to find that vehicle.
Did you think you'd be able to find it as fast as you did?
No, we were hopeful. You know, we were very fortunate that we have the resources that we have through the state police that we're able to find that vehicle at that time of day.
Do you have any reason to believe that George's father might be involved, considering he was registered to the car that had the PA license plate?
No.
Do you have any knowledge why she might have wanted to be in Staten Island?
No, we don't. Other than that's where Mr. Torres resides.
Some outlets are saying she is in contact with her family. You don't have that information though at this point?
Yeah, we really don't want to discuss what contact she's had with anyone.
You know what his intentions were, perhaps, if he had plans for a sexual encounter or anything along those lines?
No, we don't want to, also, what we know is what I told you, that he came here and met her and brought her to Long Island, or to Staten Island.
Did she get on a boat at the ferry? Any idea where she went? I mean, is there surveillance video there that says?
We've used all technology available to us, and it's a big city, and there's several thousand passengers a day on the boat, so it's very difficult to, that's really hindered us in this investigation.
The New York NYPD commissioner just confirmed to us that she has spoken to her family and that they've made contact with her. Do you have a response to this, if it is true?
Like I said, we don't want to comment on, my office isn't going to comment on contact with Malaya.
He was in a wheelchair when he came into court. Do you have any information about that?
No, I'm not sure what his injuries are. We knew that he was handicapped because his license required hand controls, but other than that, we're not sure why he's handicapped.
And that Mustang had the hand controls?
Yes.
Our New York City affiliate's saying that she's reached out to the family. Have you heard anything about that?
Like I said, our office isn't going to comment on contact that she has or hasn't had with anyone. You know, part of the problem in these cases is social media is helpful and it's also hurtful. And there was some information that was released yesterday that hindered the investigation. So we just caution people that on social media to be careful about what they post, no matter who it is and what information they have. Sometimes it could lead us in a completely wrong direction. So our main goal is finding Malaya, and that's, we know, like I said, approximately where she was last night, around 8:30, and that's what we're focusing on right now.
Does she have any family downstate in Staten Island that perhaps she was going to?
I don't believe she has family in that area.
Sheriff, can you explain the charges as far as, it was originally we heard child endangerment, but now it's
Right.
kidnapping. Just explain.
We met with the district attorney's office this morning and discussed the specifics of the case, the information that we had at the time. And based on that, we feel that this charge is warranted. You know, it's a 12-year-old girl who was taken from her family, upstate New York, driven to New York City, and without the family's permission, and now she's missing. So it was our opinion, after looking at all the facts in the case, that it warrants a charge of kidnapping.
Was
Matt?
Torres being cooperative? Did he give you any insight as to where he dropped her off, why?
He was interviewed by the New York City Police, and his statements confirm the last location that we know where she was.
Is there any reason to believe that he either dropped her off and then that was the last contact they had, or had they been together for a longer period of time in Staten Island?
We're not sure how long she was with him, but we believe it was overnight.
You know if they had met in person before?
We don't have information that they did, no.
Have you been in contact with all members of her family, the immediate members of mother, father?
Prior to this, we let them know about the press conference, yes, and let them know about the charges.
But have they been cooperative with
Oh,
you?
yeah, they were
about-
here the mother was here last night. We've been in touch with the father, so we've talked to several people, and you know, our investigators worked some 24 hours straight, interviewing friends, family. We also had the assistance of the Hudson Falls School District, where investigators talked to several students. We were able to, you know, through those interviews, we're able to determine the witness who gave us the car, which led to obviously finding out where she was.
Are both the mother and father Hudson Falls residents or living in Washington County?
The mother lives in the village.
Father is from locally, or is he out somewhere else?
He doesn't live local now.
Do you know where he lives?
I'm not sure the exact address.
Obviously, potentially more charges down the line.
Yeah, you know, right now, like I said, we're focusing on finding Malaya, and it was great news this morning to hear that NYPD is working with the New York field office, and they're actively looking for her. That's our main concern. You know, we're gonna look at this case further, obviously, as more information comes in. So there's potential for other charges or anything else.
I know yesterday morning, the missing persons alert was put out, and then yesterday afternoon was when the Amber Alert was actually issued. Was it just based on the information you got that it was by the afternoon you thought she was in danger?
Yeah, the Amber Alert, you know, it requires certain criteria, and when we found the witness that spoke about the vehicle, and we got the vehicle information with the occupants, that's when we were able to use the Amber Alert system.
Do you have surveillance of the video, or getting the car from the school?
No.
Video?
No, it wasn't at the school. Is that what you asked? I'm sorry.
When she got in the car?
No, when she got in the car, there was some confusion in the beginning because the family reported that she was last seen at the school. Through the interviews is where we learned that it was actually Oak Street in the village of Hudson Falls, so it wasn't near the school, wasn't near any school, so.
Where was it on Oak Street approximately? Do you have a cross street or a number? Or
Mechanic.
Oaken Mechanic.
Oaken Mechanic?
So we will, obviously we'll issue this to you today, and then we'll continue to update this through email as we get more information.
Has she gone missing before or anything like this that you're
Not to my
aware of?
knowledge. All set.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Appreciate it.